Hey guys, it's the back announcement, and I'm here to talk about basically the Grenfell Tower fire that happened last year. Basically, the reason why I want to talk about this is because it's frustrating to know that something like this happened under the authorities of people that we're supposed to trust. These are like decision makers, and they approved basically something that killed people, made people homeless. I'm just gonna give you a quick small facts about Grenfell Tower. So it was first built in 1972 and it's located in North Kensington. When it comes to like North Kensington areas, like the west side of London, that area, from what I know, that's very affluent area. A lot of rich people live on that side of London, and if you're from London, you might just agree with me. Yes, every part of London has like a bit more deprived areas, but from my knowledge, Kensington, Chelsea borough, they do have like some rich, very nice places, like houses and flats. So to know that something like this happened down on that side of the pond, I was pretty shocked. But then finding out the type of tower it was and type of area it's located, in terms of basically it's not as rich, it's not as well off as the other parts of Kensington, Chelsea. So after seeing that, I was like, okay, now I'm not that surprised. And I'll tell you why. It's because clearly we live in like a society where it's the rich at the top, the poorer people at the bottom. And to know something like this, like a fire took down an entire tower on that side of London, it just makes me feel like, okay, clearly they don't care about the people that live there, and the fact that this was approved by certain people, decision makers, people that had the authority to change lives, basically. And they have changed people's lives, killed some people. Whether you like it or not, let's just be frank. The people that approved. Oh, okay, let me just start from the beginning because I don't want to like go off on a tangent and some people are watching like, what the fuck are you talking about? So, so this tower was basically built in 1972 and it was refurbished in 2016. This fire happened in 2017 last year, right? So the materials used to refurbish the block, I watched the BBC documentary on basically who is responsible for the Grenfell Tower, and it was said that there was like cheap materials being used to refurbish the tower, and elevator wasn't really working, something like that. Basically, there was like a disabled person they were put in a home that was on the 19th or 18th floor. And I was just thinking, wow, like priorities, like if you know that you can't put like a disabled person on like a lower floor, don't put them in that block altogether, put them somewhere else where they're closer to the ground. Like, why should they be put on the 18th or 19th floor? That's ridiculous. And then on top of that, I'm seeing that the elevators are not really working. That's ridiculous and quite frankly disgusting. In the documentary, BBC documentary about who's responsible, a host goes around, seeing victims and trying to get into contact with people that basically approved materials being used. A lot of them were hiding behind this public inquiry. They're saying that they can't talk about because of the public inquiry that was put out there. And they're still under police investigation. The host was basically going around. He went to Ryden, which is a company that put the materials in to Grenfell Tower and in the refurbishment. And he found some guy that basically works for Ryden company, and he basically said that he doesn't feel responsible, like he done what he was told to do. But you, as an expert in this department of like materials, for a fact it's cheap materials, like to be placed in a place where people live. And there's a reason why you use specific materials, right? There's a reason why you use specific materials, like better materials for certain things so it can keep certain things in place. So you as an expert, you should know that the cheaper materials that you guys did use wasn't good enough for people to live in. I know for a fact that you wouldn't want to live there, and I bet you're glad you wasn't there. And this, you know what? The host that was going towards this man, I don't know his name, but he worked in the company that had the materials and placed it in Grenfell Tower. Basically, he must have followed, the host must have followed him, and was trying to get answers from him, because he was like, oh, I've been trying to contact you haven't gotten back to me, so like this is what I have to do. Basically, he was basically, I think he was with like his family, and then the family members are just like, oh, it's a Saturday. Excuse me, F the fact that it's a Saturday. There are people that are dead because of this, because of your family member, husband, whoever he is to you. So you coming to say it's a Saturday, I was just thinking, for fuck's sake, like, who cares if it's a Saturday? There's people that are dead because of this, and it's partly because of him that approved these materials to be used in the Grenfell Tower. So come off the whole Saturday. That frustrated me so much, because it was like, how fucking dare you? You care more at the fact that they came up to you because it was a fucking Saturday than the fact that he was responsible for lives lost. He was part of the problem. He knows, he's an expert. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, he should know this. Like, he's not a dunce. Like, I'm 22. He's clearly older. He looks like he's probably in his 40s plus, and he knows more about materials. If I'm in this sector of building places, and then I know that these are cheaper materials and it's most likely to cause a fire or whatever, I should question whoever, or I should change the fact that these materials are being used. Like, not have them being used in the tower. And this one, I think, is a very classist tragedy, to be honest, because I know for a damn fact they would not use these materials in those affluent areas that are in the same borough, Kensington, Chelsea. They would not use those same materials, because if they did, all hell would have broken loose. On top of that, most of the people that are being questioned had involvement in the Grenfell Tower are hiding behind this public inquiry. Disgusts me, because it's like, you guys are the reason why a lot of lives have been lost, and it's like, you guys are the decision makers, and as the public, we're supposed to trust you, and you've lost their trust. To be honest, I don't really trust the government to a certain extent anyway, but, at least let me know that the home I'm going to is safe. You know what I mean? So I thought it was very disgusting, and there's a lot of people that have been rehomed, and The Independent have an article about a lot of the people that are now homeless are going to be refurbished. They're going to be moved into luxury apartments. What pissed me off about the title alone is the fact that they wrote luxury. So that kind of comes across as they don't really deserve it. Like, they should be grateful. Like, why did you add the word luxury? Like, to be honest, all flats should be luxury. Let's just be frank. I think as long as the flats are safe, which clearly the Grenfell Tower flats weren't, as long as they're safe, that's a luxury in itself. But the fact that they had to add the word luxury, I just thought, okay, now people are going to cuss, in terms of the fact that people would assume if something bad happens, like a block being put on fire, then they're going to be awarded something. I don't even want to use the word awarded, because that's wrong. But they're going to be given a very nice flat. Why did you add the word luxury? And the fact that I looked on the comments, and then people are like, oh wow, they're being treated like angels or something. And it's disgusting. Like, so bloody what? These people deserve those flats. And there's so much to talk about in terms of this. It's so sad. Some people have been moved to flats that are closer to affluent people that have very nice luxury flats, and apparently that is a problem. Some people find that as a problem, having people that don't have as much money being moved to those areas, to their areas. They're not very happy about that, and I think that's just ridiculous. Like, these people have lost their damn lives, their livelihood, their homes, and all you're worried about is just basically seeing or living near someone that doesn't have as much money as you. Fuck off. Anyway, yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about. There's so much more to go into, but I just wanted to share my frustration and how sad it is that this has happened, and all the people involved in the refurbishment of the Grenfell Tower should all be held accountable. The people that approved it, the people that knew exactly the effects of all these materials, because we know for a fact if this was in a different part of Kensington, Chelsea, the more affluent areas, you know for a fact that they wouldn't use it. So why are you using it in the poorer areas? It's a very classist tragedy, and it's very sad. And I don't want to say like I'll pray for them, because like we need action. Like, I do hope that they do get the people that still might not have their own places. I do hope that they get their own places soon enough and all that. But honestly, we need action. We need people that are decision makers making the right decisions, and not selective strategic decisions in terms of having a hierarchy of the cheaper materials must go to the people that are not as well off as the richer people, because that's really basically what it is. That's really what it is. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe, and I'll see you soon.